The Trojan War and a legacy of ancient Greece. The story of the Trojan War stands as one of the most iconic and enduring legends in Western history. A tale woven with gods, heroes, and the tragic consequences of passion and pride. Yet behind the dramatic myth lies a glimpse into a distant world. The early roots of ancient Greek civilization, a culture whose values, ideas, and artistic achievements laid the foundation for the Western world. A heroic age. The Mycenaean civilization long before the rise of democratic Athens or the grandeur of Sparta. Greece was home to a powerful and mysterious civilization known as the Mycenaeans. Flourishing from roughly 1600 to 1100 BCE, the Mycenaeans built fortified palace cities such as Mycenae, Pylos, and Tiryns, and established far-reaching trade networks that stretched across the Aegean Sea and into Egypt and the Near East. This era is often described as the heroic age, the backdrop against which the Trojan War was said to have taken place. The Mycenaeans were a warrior society, deeply hierarchical and steeped in ritual and power. They left behind tombs filled with gold, weapons, and intricate jewelry, as well as administrative tablets written in a script known as Linear B, the earliest known form of the Greek language. The world they built came to a mysterious and dramatic end around 1200 BCE, during a period of widespread upheaval in the eastern Mediterranean. Earthquakes, invasions, and internal collapse may have all played a role. It is within this era of turmoil that the legendary Trojan War is believed to have occurred. If indeed it was ever a historical event at all, the Trojan War. Between myth and memory, the Trojan War occupies a unique space between history and mythology. According to the epic tradition, the war was sparked by a divine quarrel and a mortal act of seduction. The Trojan prince Paris, asked to judge a contest between the goddesses Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, awarded the prize of beauty to Aphrodite in exchange for the love of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen, queen of Sparta and wife to King Menelaus. At Helen's abduction, or perhaps her elopement, was the spark that ignited a 10-year war between Troy and a coalition of Greek forces led by Menelaus's brother, Agamemnon, king of Mycenae. Heroes like Achilles, Odysseus, Ajax, and Hector emerged as central figures, fighting under the gaze and interference of the Olympian gods. After years of stalemate, the war ended in the infamous trick, the Trojan horse, a gift that concealed Greek soldiers who opened the gates of Troy from within, leading to the city's destruction. While elements of the story are undoubtedly mythical, archaeological excavations at Hizarlik, the site identified as ancient Troy, have revealed multiple layers of settlement, including signs of a violent destruction around 1200 BCE. Whether this destruction was caused by Mycenaean Greeks or other regional conflicts remains debated, but the alignment of myth and evidence suggests a historical kernel behind the legend. After the war, the Greek Dark Ages following the fall of the Mycenaean civilization, Greece entered a period of decline known as the Dark Ages, c. 1100 to 800 BC. Palatial centers disappeared, trade diminished, and the art of writing was lost. Yet even in this time of hardship, the seeds of a new culture were sown. The tales of the heroic age were preserved and passed down orally by bards, gradually evolving into the epic poetry of Homer, whose works, the Iliad and Odyssey, would later define Greek identity and morality. This period also saw the gradual emergence of new social and political forms. Communities began to organize into polis, or city-states, each with its own government, military, and traditions. By the end of the Dark Ages, Greece was on the cusp of a cultural revival that would define the Archaic period. The rise of classical Greece from around 800 BCE, Greek civilization blossomed anew. The Greeks adopted a new alphabet, inspired by the Phoenician script, allowing them to record literature, laws, and history in their own language. Cities like Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Delphi grew in power, each developing distinct political systems. While Sparta favored militarism and oligarchy, Athens experimented with democracy, becoming a beacon of philosophy, arts, and learning. This era also saw the founding of colonies throughout the Mediterranean and Black Sea, spreading Greek culture far beyond the Aegean. Shared religious festivals, such as the Olympic Games, helped to unify the Greeks despite their political divisions. The stories of the Trojan War continued to be retold, shaping a collective identity based on valor, cunning, and honor. The classical period, 5th to 4th centuries BCE, brought forth the full brilliance of Greek civilization. In the wake of the Persian Wars, Athens rose to cultural dominance, ushering in an age of drama, sculpture, architecture, and philosophy. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle questioned the nature of truth, justice, and the cosmos. Artists and architects built marvels like the Parthenon. Historians such as Herodotus and Thucydides sought to record human events not as myth, but as rational narratives. Yet this golden age was also marked by conflict. The Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta weakened the Greek world, making it vulnerable to conquest. Eventually, a new power from the north would unite the fractious city-states. Age and lasting legacy in the 4th century BCE, Alexander the Great, a student of Aristotle and king of Macedon, swept through Persia, Egypt, and even into India, spreading Greek language and culture across a vast empire. His conquests ushered in the Hellenistic period, an era where Greek ideas fused with Eastern traditions to create a cosmopolitan world. Even after Alexander's empire fractured and Greece fell under Roman rule in the 2nd century BCE, the cultural legacy of Greece endured. Roman elites revered Homer, modeled their architecture on Greek forms, and saw themselves as heirs to Greek civilization. The legend of Troy was reimagined in Virgil's Aeneid, which traced the origins of Rome to a Trojan hero named Aeneas in time. The myths of Achilles, Odysseus, and Helen became symbols of something greater than a war. They represented the human struggle for glory, identity, and immortality. They reminded the Greeks, and later, the world, that the stories we tell shape the way we live, and that even from ruin, greatness can arise. Conclusion: the tale of the Trojan War, whether history or myth, was the spark that lit the imagination of an entire civilization. From the ashes of Troy and the fall of Mycenae rose a culture that questioned, created, and conquered not only lands but ideas. Ancient Greece's contributions in politics, philosophy, art, and literature continue to resonate today. And at the heart of it all lies a wooden horse, a burning city, and a war that never truly ended. Like and follow for more historical events.